All right, guys, welcome back to another interview on mmaunhinged. Today we're joined by Chrissy Mountford, amateur lightweight. How's it going?
I'm all good, Lenny. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. It's great to have you on the show. I'm very excited to see where you go next. And March 19th, I saw it on your Instagram, is when you're fighting next.
Yes, mate, that's right. Yeah, all matched ready to go for them, mate. March 19th, Birmingham. Battle Arena. Let's go.
Yeah. First off, I want to ask you about your last fight, and it's where you absolutely destroyed your opponent Connor with that fantastic front kick down the middle, and it went a little bit viral. Did you know that was available to finish the fight?
Yeah, mate. Right. So, do you know what? That wasn't my last fight. I've fought since then. I fought for the European title since that fight. That fight was back in when was it? It's like June, July last year.
July, August.
That one was with the front kick. So basically, that front kick, I knew it. No matter who I fought, that front kick was always going to be there because we were working them heavy leg kicks because I like throwing like heavy leg kicks anyway. So we were working the heavy leg kicks, and it was just going to be a case of scoring a couple of heavy leg kicks and then just switching the heavy leg kick into the teep. And to be fair, it didn't matter who I was fighting. I was always going to set up that teep with those leg kicks. And it was when we were warming up in the before the fight, we were warming up, and I was throwing it. I was throwing the leg kicks, and I was throwing the teep to the midsection. To be fair, and to the chest. And then obviously my coach said to me, in fact, like just throw it to his face, like. And that was like literally on the way out. We were walking down the stairs, and Harry was like, "Listen, mate. In fact, like, have a think about this." Throw it to his face. So we've gone out into the first round, and I started throwing my leg kicks straight off the bat, like just soften his legs up a little bit. Scored 2 heavy leg kicks, and I knew that third one would be a good fake, because you registered 2 heavy shots. The third one you can always bank as a fake shot, and then. I just shot it straight up the middle. And to be fair, it was right on the button. I didn't really expect to finish the fight so quick, to be fair, but obviously it was lights out for him. So I got the job done.
That was it. It landed perfectly on the chin. It was fantastic. And it went viral all over Twitter. Calposa uploaded it. MMA Junkie was reporting on it. So what was it like to kind of get that, that little fame and attention?
It was mega. Like, it was, because to be fair, like I just love fighting. Do you know what I mean? Like I just love getting in there and having a knock. Like, so, I don't purposely go out to sort of go viral or become famous or anything daft like that. I just go out there for fighting and enjoy myself. So yeah, it was a bit mad. Like the next day and like the weeks afterwards, I was getting like phone calls and like messages off people, and it went nuts. Like loads of followers, like hundreds of followers on Instagram, like just off the back of that knockout. So it was good, but then it's given me the bug for it now, like in the sense of, looking for them highlight reel finishes and that, I'm working stuff in the gym that's hopefully gonna sort of go viral again, like so.
Well, that's it. Them sort of like fights and the highlight, as you said, the highlight reels, that's what you need to kind of propel your career.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And do you know what? Like I've kind of, like I say, I just love the fight, but it's given me a little bit of a different angle on things now. It's like, it's not for me. I've always gone in there to finish anyway, but now I'm looking for like a nice finish. Like something that's gonna make people have a little look and a watch and look who Chrissy Mountford is.
Mm-hmm. And as I mentioned, it was a perfectly timed knockout. Was that the most satisfying win of your career so far?
Do you know what? Right. Yeah and no, because it wasn't it was satisfying in the sense like it was a nice finish, but obviously it was a quick finish. Obviously I hurt the kid, so it's like it was bittersweet really, because you work all your camp, you're working hard and you're losing the weight to make weight, and then you go in there and get the job done in like 20 seconds or something. It's a bit bittersweet because, like I say, I love fighting. I'd probably say my last fight was the most satisfying because obviously I won the title, and it was quite a clinical performance. I didn't take any damage. You know, I was lighting him up with various shots, you know, leg kicks. Got some wrestling in. And finished it with ground and pound. So I'd say like my last fight, it was just a little bit more of a well-rounded fight, and obviously went into the second round and I got the finish and then won the title. So yeah, I think the last fight was probably most satisfying, to be fair.
Moving on to your next fight on March 19th. Currently, it has been announced that you haven't got an opponent, but I presume that you've got a name. You have a name in mind.
Yeah, well, we've accepted an opponent. James at Battle Arenas spoke to Harry and give Harry the name. Harry's accepted the fight. So yeah, we've got an idea who the guy is. I don't do too much research into my opponents, to be fair. I leave it up to my coach, and then I just make sure that I'm a better version of myself in there. You know, I'm competing against myself every time I go in there. I've just got to be a better all-round fighter, and you know, just beat the guys in front of me. So yeah, we've got a name, and I'm working on things in my own locker, and yeah, so we know it is, I think.
I'm sure you've had a quick look at him on Instagram or something like that. So how would you describe him?
Like I say, I've not personally looked at him, but Harry's told me that he's a bit taller than me. He's a bit of a rangier striker. So I think he's a southpaw as well. So he's keg-handed. So we've got some ideas. I've got some ideas how to beat the guy.
What type of matchups do you prefer? Do you prefer a guy taller than you, a more range than you, because it possesses a different type of challenge?
Yeah. You know what? I wouldn't say I prefer it like any particular type of matchup. You know, I wouldn't say that there's any sort of the beauty of mixed martial arts is you can look at for example, if you get matched with a fighter and you can think that he fights a certain way. So I could say to you I prefer fighting a wrestler or I prefer fighting a striker. The next time you see that guy in the cage, he could be a totally different fighter. You know, so I can't. Mixed martial arts is that's the beauty of it. I just like getting in there and I'll fight any kind of style. You know, I don't have a preference if the guy's tall, short, wrestler, striker. You know, I've just got to take the best version of me and fight, whoever's in front of me, and work out a way for beating, work it out quite fast in the first round. You know, if you watch any of my fights, you can see me in the first 30 seconds. I'm always sort of looking at him, figuring out his patterns, figuring out his movements, and then I'll figure out, sort of how to beat the guy.
And then in your next fight, you'll be defending your championship. Does that add a little bit extra pressure and a little bit more feeling heading into the fight?
Yeah, so I think the next fight is for another title as well. Like I say, once it's all announced, you'll see, but I think it's for the other title as well. And you know what? I don't really feel too much pressure because this is what we train for. Obviously we train so hard for getting there and perform. So the fight's like your reward. I enjoy the fights. I don't really feel too much pressure, really. It's just I go in there and I do what I do every day in the gym. Just go in there for a scrap.
And we're still a few months out before March 19th. March 19th is quite a big day. I think we've got the UFC coming as well. I think that weekend, so it's quite a big weekend for MMA.
I know, mate. I know. To be fair, it's when because UFC London, in it. March 19th. Yeah, but so yeah, if you're not going UFC London, then come to Battle Arena Birmingham. That's the next bet. It's the best show that day.
Yeah, we're still a few months out. So tell us what your camp will look like from now until March 19th.
So to be fair, with my training camps, I just tick all boxes, because where we train at Warfare Academy, we've got everything going on there. So we've got striking, wrestling, sambo, BJJ. So throughout the week, I'm doing a lot of learning, a lot of sparring. And I get in a strength and conditioning session, and red zone sessions. And then sort of on the over the next few weeks, it'll just be more working towards more explosive power, more explosive bursts of energy, and sort of breaking down the engine and breaking it into more explosive work.
Mhm. Is there anything that you like to do during the camp that you have like little superstition, maybe?
The one, not a superstition as such. I always watch like the day before my fight. I always watch a documentary, like a predator documentary, like a lion, like like a David Attenborough documentary on lions. Like I always watch something like that, like the day before the fight, and just like watching the sort of predators catch the prey, and that it's a bit strange, but that's what I do the day before the fight. Hypes me up.
Where did that stem from, or is it that mentality like you're the predator sort of thing?
I think it's that, yeah. Well, I love chilling out watching documentaries anyway, and so I was like, I love like lions and that. So, at first when I was watching, like it was just more of just for chill out the day before the fight, so I wasn't getting too hyped. And then, so I was like, I'll put a documentary on. I'll put a lion documentary on, and then obviously it was like watching the documentaries about like the lions catching the prey and that, and I was just a bit like, this has got to be my thing the day before the fight now.
And has there been, since you've been watching them live documentaries, has it all gone well for you?
Yeah, I suppose it has. Yeah, I don't know. I think like just being consistent with my training and being consistent with like being in with the Warfare Academy. I think since like I joined the Warfare Academy about 18 months ago, started training with them boys there, like things were just started clicking for me, like me, I just become a better, like well-rounded fighter, I just feel like a more well-rounded fighter,
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's the first time I've ever heard of someone watching a lion documentary before a fight. It's definitely an interesting fact to learn about you. I'll definitely be asking you before your next fight, which one did you watch the day before?
Yeah.
You don't have any favorites? It's just whatever you see on the TV, you stick on?
Yeah, just get on Netflix, innit? Just get on Netflix and just see what's on there.
Yeah, so you've had 6 fights in your amateur career. You've had 1 loss in that stem, should we say? 3 of your wins have come, but you've finished. Is that how you like to get it done? You like to finish the?
Yeah, I've had my record, my MMA record 6-1.
Yeah.
And I think I've finished 4. I think something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like obviously I look for finished fights. To be fair, like there's been the couple that I've not finished. I feel like I could have finished. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like I was enjoying myself in there. And I just have to be careful of that because, like I say, I love fighting. You can just get carried away in the fight and just enjoy yourself a bit too much. But like I've got a different mentality now. Like I go in there. I give myself, like the last fight when I fought for that title, I never even asked James if it was like a 3-rounder or a 5-rounder because I was saying to myself, you've got a round, finish it. And I didn't finish the first round. I went back to the corner, and again I gave myself another round. I was like, you got a round, finish it. And so I fight to finish now. I don't, whether it's a 3-rounder or a 5-rounder. So it's just that I've got a different mentality now.
Yeah, so as I said, there's 7 fights in your amateur career, and I presume the thought of going pro has crossed your mind, and I believe that fighters should have a fantastic amateur career, have a lot of fights just to learn what this mixed martial arts game is all about. And I presume that the pro bout has probably come across your mind. So, is there a timeline that then you would like to go pro?
Yeah, soon. To be fair, I'll get this fight done, and then I'll talk to James at Battle Arena and talk to Harry maybe about turning over. I've been fighting all my life, it's not like obviously MMA has been like the later part of my life, but I've been fighting all my life since I was like, I don't know, 6 years old. I've been competing in different combat sports. So, I've done a lot of work in fighting. I just need to make sure I'm well-rounded enough in MMA to turn over, but actual platforms of fighting, like I've fought on a lot of platforms.
Amateur MMA compared to pro MMA is a massive jump. It's a massive leap. You get to use your elbows and your knees. So I presume that's something that you look forward to.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, we do work. We work a lot of knees in my gym. Work a lot of knees. Don't work too many elbows at the moment, but we'll start getting them. start working them and putting them in the locker.
And then when you do eventually make that jump to the pro game, would it still be lightweight? Because I know when you move to the pro game, sometimes fighters like to drop their weight and go to the lower classes.
Yeah, of course. I mean, at the moment, I feel strong at lightweight. And I've always kind of said, while I feel strong at a weight, I'm not going to change too much. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I'm happy at lightweight. I feel fit. I feel strong at lightweight. Obviously, I know that when you turn pro, I know a lot of guys are cutting a lot of weight and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know. I only cut a little bit of weight at the moment, and I'm happy doing that. I don't really want a big heavy cut. I want to sort of be solid at the way I fight at. So we'll see.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. When you see these fighters that we have in mixed martial arts, cut a lot of weight, cut that 20 pounds and 15 pounds. I feel like maybe if you go to your natural weight and you cut a few pounds, you might perform better.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, I can't really say sort of too much for other guys. I mean, I do know that there's a lot of fighters these days. There's been a couple in the UFC where they're kind of agreeing to fight at more of a natural weight, and they aren't doing the big heavy cuts anymore. And I've known fighters sort of speak to each other privately and be like, "Oh, do you want to just fight as a catch weight and just forget about the weight cuts?" And I think it's kind of coming more and more obvious that the big heavy weight cuts are dangerous. Obviously, it's never going to change. People are always going to cut weight and that, but it's just It's just one of the things. It's individual, and some people cut a lot of weight and they just feel they're going to be stronger at that weight. But I've known guys cut a lot of weight and then look like shit. So it's up to the individual, isn't it? I guess.
Well, that's it. We've seen it with notoriously Darren Till when he cut down to 170 pounds. Just didn't look himself at 170 pounds drained, and just obviously his performance didn't get the best of outcome at 170 pounds. So I feel like the 185 pounds was a great move for him. So I can't stress enough, moving to natural weight. I think that's a fantastic move.
Yeah. And to be fair, mate, I love my food as well. To be fair, so I diet. I have to diet off a little bit of weight. Truthfully, my natural weight is about 77 kilo, to be fair, 80 kilo, to be fair. I usually lose over the course of a camp, I will lose about 10 kilo, but a lot of that's fat. Do you know what I mean? It's not a big cut. It's just like fat from, eating well and training hard. And I just sort of drop the weight gradually. So.
And then my last question, as we're on the topic of food, it brought a question to my head. Is what's your post-fight meal after you get a win?
Pizza. When I fight, I've got a good support, and the guys usually a lot of my friends and family usually stay over. We'll go back in a hotel and usually order a load of pizzas to the hotel. It's always pizza, mate, after the fight.
Well, on March 19th, after the fight, I hope you order a lot of pizza because you'll be getting the win. So I wish you the best of luck on March 19th.
Yeah, nice one, Lenny. Cheers, man.